People age because their cells die, because they don't have enough charge to stay alive, to do what they need to do. What is a cell? What is mitochondria?
The energy production site is the mitochondria.
If you can think of your body as the iPhone, when you charge it, it moves faster, everything's working in it. But if it's on that low battery mode, it may move a little slower, it's dimmer, it shuts down the apps in the background of the phone. It's the same with your body. If it has low energy, it's gotta shut down some things in the background in order to give energy to just the primary function. Welcome to Balanced Conversations. Today on this episode, we are going to be breaking down aging to the cellular level. How do your cells age? Why do they age? And what does that cause? Everything.
You know, when we usually talk about aging, we talk about aesthetics, injectables, Botox, but really aging actually starts at the cellular level. And how do we address that cellular dysfunction? We address it with a peptide called SS31. So today we're going to go do a little deep dive on cellular health and SS31.
So SS31 is a peptide that is fairly new to general public, but it is an absolutely amazing peptide, works at the mitochondrial level. And why is it so amazing? Everyone needs to know about this peptide.
How does it work? So it works at the mitochondrial level. We probably need to explain what is the mitochondria.
Yeah, so the mitochondria is the innermost part of the cell that helps with ATP, cellular energy production. Why is ATP important? Well, first, let's actually talk about what is a cell and what is the reason for a cell in your body.
Right. You know, that's a good one. So let's start there. So backing fully out, you know, every single thing in your body has a cell. So there's, you know, skin cells, there's eye cells, there's brain cells, there's muscle cells. And so, you know, the tissue is made up of cells. And those cells are ultimately what's going to cause the tissue. Let's just use a muscle, for example. That muscle to function properly, to grow, to recover. And so, you know, as part of the cell, the kind of the center of it, the powerhouse, the energy production site is the mitochondria. So if, you know, micro level, if that mitochondria is not functioning well, meaning producing the proper amount of energy, then, and it's dysfunctioning, meaning not working well, then that tissue is going to age faster. It's going to have more oxidative stress. It's going to have more inflammation. And, you know, the consequence is on all levels, every organ in your body, there could be that symptom that you start to develop. So fatigue, brain fog, you know, pain. So we need to get the mitochondria, the powerhouse, super healthy. And so SS31 binds to the internal machinery of the ATP and stabilizes it, simply put.
Well, okay, so when you were talking about what a cell is, a good way to think of it is cells are the pixels of a picture, of a photo. So it's all the tiny little pixels that make up the full picture being your body. Mm-hmm. So the energy you could think of as the color in those pixels. So super vibrant photos have a ton of, you know, color in all of the different pixels. Super vibrant people have a ton of energy in the mitochondria in their cells.
Yep. And so SS31 is, you know, one of those medications or peptides that we use that, you know, you're not really going to feel something from it like you would if you were to take a stimulant. So some people may come in and be like, I want more energy, but the reality is that energy is going to be, you know, more mental clarity, maybe be able to get through task a little bit better, but a little bit more endurance, and not one of those things where you're jacked up or, you know, you feel like more awake. So you got to be patient with SS31 because that's kind of how it works. And a lot of people are looking for that jump in energy, and then you're going to feel it, but not really feel it.
Well, so I'm glad that you brought that up, because there's recently, there was a patient that with one of our consultants, and one of the things that she said is a certain peptide, not this one, but a certain peptide, she said, it didn't do anything. I didn't feel anything. So that's not how peptides work. It's definitely not how SS31 works. It's not a immediate, I feel something, to your point. It's a strategic cycle built up over time where it improves regulation, basically, of your body so everything can function better. So what you feel is going to be maybe 30, 60, 90 days down the road. And it's not going to be one symptom fixed. It's going to be an overall improvement of all of the systems, because peptides are just signaling to all the systems in your body how to function properly at an optimal level. So SS31 was originally studied for the beneficial properties of it at the cardiac level. But then they found, yes, it's excellent for cardiovascular health and also helping with treatment of cardio issues, but there's other properties that it's excellent for as well. So even if you don't have any issues with your heart, because it's working at the mitochondrial level, it's not just working at the cellular level of your heart, it's working at the cellular level all over your body as well. So you're going to have a lot of benefits other than just cardio. But of course, you always want to, it's always good to protect your heart and have that functioning properly, regardless if you have a diagnosis.
I think cellular turnover is maybe 90 days. So you're right. It's one of those things that, it has to be cycled properly. You've got to give it time to work. And for those cells, when I say turnover meaning become a new cell. So kind of shedding the old cell, if you will. But I think that I noticed in some of the reports that we've had is you've got a little bit more mental clarity. You've got a little bit more stable energy. You're able to recover a little bit faster. So those are some of the reports that we've seen. But I think with mitochondrial peptides, we have to be very, 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 very clear that you're not going to feel something.
Yeah, well, not something like right away, not one thing. Another thing with a lot of the mitochondrial peptides like SS31, MOTC, 5-amino-1-MQ is that you do, though, like you said, stable energy, you do feel more, I wouldn't say like a peak or, a boost in energy, but you absolutely do feel that more stable energy. I would even call it stamina. You have more stamina to get through the day. And you can get through the day on a higher than your average level. So you're able to do more throughout the day without feeling super tired, fatigued, crash. It's also actually SS31. It actually does help with detoxification as well. And the reason behind that is because if it's recharging the cells at the cellular level, cells are responsible for detoxifying the body and then also protecting the body from different toxins. And so if you have healthy, fully charged cells, then everything else is going to function properly. Detoxification, inflammation is going to decrease, more stamina, natural energy. I always think of the mitochondria because sometimes it's hard to explain, like, what is a cell? What is mitochondria? So an easy way to put it, and how I originally really started understanding and grasping the concept of the mitochondria, is an iPhone, right? So if you can think of your body as the iPhone, then when you charge it, obviously it has full charge, it moves faster, everything's working in it. But if it's on that low battery mode, it may move a little slower, it's dimmer, it shuts down the apps in the background of the phone. And so it's the same with your body. If it has low energy, it's got to shut down some things in the background in order to give energy to just the primary functions. And that's what we don't want to see. We don't ever want any of our apps in our body to be shut down.
Yeah, and I also think that when you're using SS31, it doesn't you can't not do the important things. So proper nutrition, making sure that you're getting really good sleep, that you're taking care of your body. And when you do those things, that's when SS31 is going to really function at its best. So if you just try to sprinkle that on top of bad habits and poor health decisions, SS31 may not even have the full function that it should. So those things cannot be ignored.
Yeah, it's not going to have the full function, but it's still, I mean, the more energy your cells have, even if you haven't optimized the rest of your lifestyle, functional wellness, that kind of thing, it's still, though, better than nothing, because a badly charged cell is not good. Also, so what is aging? So at the cellular level, people age because their cells die. And their cells die because they don't have enough charge to stay alive, to do what they need to do. And so our bodies are constantly regenerating cells and new cells. So aging is the slowing down of the regeneration of new cells, and then also the slowing down of the energy. So as new cells regenerate, when you're 60 plus, you could think of it regenerating with an iPhone battery charge of 50. Whereas when we're much younger, 20s, and a child, when they regenerate, they're regenerating with a power charge of 95 to 100%. So even with the regeneration of the new cells as we age, it's going to be a weaker cell. So that's exactly why we have hair that dies, graying, falling out, wrinkles, sagging of skin, organ systems start to not function and work as properly, bones get brittle, muscles, fatigue. The reason behind that is because the cells are just not as healthy as they were before. They cannot regenerate as quickly. When they do regenerate, they don't have the same energy, ATP, that they once did when we were younger. You know what it makes me think of? Did you ever see that movie? I don't remember the name of it. I think it was in the 90s, but there was a potion that you could take. And if you took it, then you stayed young forever. You never aged. And that makes me think of SS31. Like SS31 is the potion, basically. I mean, I'm not making the claim that you're going to stay young forever and never age, but I am making the claim that it is going to help the cells that you have and as they regenerate, it is going to help to charge them a bit more.
SS31 is just a tool. There's a bunch of other things that have to be done in combination with it so that you age slower, age better, and those things can't be forgotten.
Never forget. And that's all for this episode. We would be happy to help your cells recharge. Just book a quick consult with us and we will take it from there. Link is in the description. Please like and subscribe. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, please share with all of your friends and family that would love this information as well. We would greatly appreciate it. Until next time, have a balanced day.